Meantime, the Lakers. Okay, so here's what LeBron says. There have been times when we're at our best, we look really good. And there are other times where it's disgusting.
You know what that sounds like, Ernie?
What?
Sounds like an old man. Like when you wake up in the morning, sometimes I'll be like, ooh, I feel good. Then that next day you'd be like,
that's
sciatica.
disgusting.
Sciatica, it's hurt.
Charles Barkley went right at the Los Angeles Lakers again, and this time his comments hit so sharply they were almost painful to laugh at. He compared them to the Washington Generals, slipped into a quick Oprah Winfrey-style impression for dramatic effect, and even cracked a sciatica joke aimed directly at LeBron James. Chuck didn't soften a single word, he delivered every punchline with confidence, and whether you agreed or not, the accuracy of his criticism made it sting a little more. It wasn't just playful banter, it felt like a serious challenge to the Lakers' credibility. Now the big question is this: are the Lakers truly a real playoff threat in the Western Conference this season? Or is Barkley simply saying what everyone else is thinking? Drop your thoughts below.
Why do you hate the Lakers? Chuck, tell us.
Why I hate the Lakers? It's always somebody else's fault. Remember 3 years ago, it was Russell Westbrook's fault. Then it was Frank Vogel's fault. Then it was D'Angelo Russell's fault. Then it was Darvin Ham's fault. It's always somebody else's fault. And it bothers me. Listen, you don't always blame other people for your shortcomings.
Before we even break down his actual comments, let's take a second to appreciate Charles Barkley himself, because at this point, the way he talks about the Los Angeles Lakers feels like it deserves to be preserved in a museum. His commentary isn't just analysis, it's performance art. Every take is sharp, fearless, and delivered with the kind of timing that turns criticism into pure entertainment. Whether you agree with him or not, you can't deny he's transformed Lakers discussions into must-watch television.
It's like an Oprah Winfrey show. You get a basket. You get a basket. You get a basket. Everybody who plays against the Lakers, they gonna make everybody look good. I mean, they're like the Washington Generals. They're gonna make every team's the Globetrotters against them. I mean, and we can keep sugarcoating it, and I know they're gonna make us talk about the Lakers. The Lakers are a mediocre.
If you tune into Inside the NBA on a regular basis, you already understand one simple truth: the Los Angeles Lakers are Charles Barkley's favorite topic. Not favorite because he admires them, but favorite because they hand him fresh material almost every week. For Chuck, the Lakers are like a comedy goldmine. Every inconsistency, every overhyped stretch, every dramatic headline becomes fuel for the kind of brutally honest commentary that catches you off guard and makes you laugh mid-sip. He doesn't just critique them, he turns their storyline into primetime entertainment, and somehow, it never gets old.
The Lakers prove to what I keep saying, the Lakers stink, plain and simple. We have to talk about them because the media is infatuated with the Lakers, but the Lakers are not a good team. They got zero athletic ability. They got a good shot every time. The Lakers could never keep them in front of them. This was a coaching masterpiece by Jason Kidd, because there's no way that team that the Mavs put out there, especially one winning by 20, basically.
For years, the Los Angeles Lakers have been the gift that keeps on giving for Charles Barkley, and the latest episode of Inside the NBA handed him even more material to work with. As always, he delivered it with the sharp timing of someone who has mastered this craft over decades. The spark this time came from LeBron James himself, who openly admitted that the team can look impressive at its peak but, at other moments, downright disgusting. Hearing a superstar describe his own squad that way during a press conference was striking. Depending on your perspective, it was either a rare flash of brutal honesty or a subtle signal that something deeper isn't right behind the scenes.
He just described who he should be and who the team should be based on what their personnel is at that time. They are old in certain parts. They don't have perimeter.
Wait, he's the only one old.
But they don't have perimeter defense. Young at the perimeter. So now there's no resistance for guys that get downhill.
Yes.
And I think that is the biggest thing. You know, yes, they don't have a great shot blockers, but they have shot block ability. But they do not have resistance at the 1, 2, and 3 position. And that is indicative of why they play like that.
Charles Barkley took that quote and turned it into a moment nobody watching Inside the NBA will forget anytime soon. He joked that it sounded like an older man waking up in the morning. One day you feel amazing, everything moves the way it should, and you're sharp and energized. The next day your sciatica is flaring up and nothing wants to cooperate. The comparison between LeBron James describing the Los Angeles Lakers as great one night and disgusting the next, and the physical ups and downs of aging, was so detailed and perfectly timed that the entire studio burst into laughter. What made it land even harder was that it didn't feel cruel, it felt honest. LeBron is competing in his 40s against the fastest, strongest athletes in the world, and inconsistency at that stage isn't shocking, it's reality. When you're asking a 41-year-old body to deliver elite performances on back-to-back nights, volatility comes with the territory. And with the Lakers swinging between brilliance and breakdowns, Barkley clearly felt like he was just connecting the dots, and as usual, he wasn't finished once he started.
JJ Bennett going more to his own, too, to address the defensive issues on that team.
Absolutely, and like you mentioned, like Luka and Austin Reeves have been terrific offensively. Luka flirt with a triple-double every night. Austin Reeves been killing the league, averaging over 25 points, but they've been a turnstile on defense. And whoever comes to town can just beat them off the dribble, drive and kick, and get other guys open. But you wanted to also get more from DeAndre Ayton as an anchor when you acquire him as the Lakers, and he's been pedestrian a lot of times, and I just don't think the Lakers, even though LeBron does a really good job at his
But when you open a bee's nest and all the bees is hard to block all the bees, you got DeAndre in there like this. Like, come on, it's like you got to have resistance out front.
But even offensively.
When the laughter settled, the panel shifted from punchlines to pure basketball, and the breakdown of the Los Angeles Lakers' defensive issues was serious and worth hearing. The core problem is simple. There isn't enough resistance at the 1, 2, and 3 spots to slow down guards and wings who attack downhill. When perimeter defenders fail to contain the ball, everything behind them starts to crack. Shot blockers are forced into constant emergency mode, rotations become rushed and messy, and the defense reacts instead of dictating. DeAndre Ayton was brought in to steady that chaos, a strong interior presence expected to erase mistakes and intimidate drivers at the rim. Instead, his impact has been average, not disastrous, but far from the reliable anchor the team hoped for. The panel's bee's nest comparison actually captured it perfectly. Without pressure at the point of attack, it's like letting a swarm loose. Every guard who slips by hits the paint at full speed. You can have size and length waiting inside, but if multiple attackers are crashing in at once because nobody stopped them early, the numbers simply work against you. In that situation, no amount of scrambling, helping, or recovering can consistently patch a defense that is leaking from the outside in.
Don't make us talk about the Lakers. The Lakers are a mediocre team. Now they got some really good teams in the West that we should be talking about, because I'm starting to get on this San Antonio bandwagon right now. Obviously, we got OKC and Denver, we got Houston, but man, them Spurs, they're knocking on that door.
Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves have been nothing short of electric on the offensive end, and that much isn't up for debate. Luka is practically living in the box score, flirting with a triple-double almost every night, controlling the tempo and stuffing stat sheets with ease. Reeves, meanwhile, has elevated his game to another level, pouring in more than 25 points per contest and emerging as one of the Western Conference's most impressive individual scorers this season. When it comes to putting the ball in the basket, the Los Angeles Lakers have plenty of firepower. They possess the creativity, shot-making, and scoring versatility to challenge nearly any defense in the league.
Number 5 in the West right now, the Lakers, and for the 11th time this season, expected to have LeBron and Austin Reeves and Luka Doncic together on the floor.
You get a basket. Which has been a rarity.
What you want to do? What you want to do?
Then Charles Barkley raised the temperature with an unforgettable bit, slipping into an Oprah Winfrey-style giveaway. You get a basket. You get a basket. Everybody gets a basket. It was a perfect punchline because it mirrors how the Los Angeles Lakers have defended lately, like a nightly prize distribution. Opponents roll in, and suddenly role players look like all-stars, guards slice through the perimeter untouched, and points pile up as if they're complimentary. And just when you thought he'd peaked, Barkley dropped the Washington Generals comparison. For context, the Generals are the perennial foil to the Harlem Globetrotters, the team designed to lose so the show can shine. To liken his 17-time champion franchise, the home of legends like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Magic Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kobe Bryant, to that role was bold. But his point was clear. Right now, too many opponents walk into LA and leave looking like the main attraction. The joke worked because it felt uncomfortably close to the truth. While the crowd and the panel laughed, plenty of Los Angeles Lakers fans probably had that quiet thought in the back of their minds. He's not completely wrong. The segment even spilled over to the other side of the hallway when Lawrence Frank insisted the Los Angeles Clippers hadn't changed their goals and weren't waving a white flag. Charles Barkley fired back that they've waved every color imaginable at this point: purple, orange, blue, the white one is just the latest. It was a sharp nod to how often the Clippers' plans have been rerouted, especially with Kawhi Leonard's ongoing injury concerns shaping the franchise's direction. Still, the Lakers remained the headline act, and beneath all the punchlines, the basketball talk carried weight. Sitting 5th in the Western Conference might sound respectable, but in this conference that likely means staring down teams like the Oklahoma City Thunder, Denver Nuggets, Houston Rockets, and San Antonio Spurs, all playing with sharper defensive structure and more consistency right now. That's where the laughter fades and the reality sets in. Charles Barkley even singled out the San Antonio Spurs. Oklahoma City Thunder rookie Dylan Harper is already averaging 11 points per game at just 19, and the organization has built around young talent in a way that looks sustainable, not like a one-off fluke. The Los Angeles Lakers rely on an aging LeBron James, a transcendent but not fully integrated Luka Doncic, and a scoring-heavy supporting cast with defensive holes. Some nights click, others collapse, exactly what LeBron called disgusting. Barkley's blunt take hits because it states what most won't. The Lakers are mediocre, too good to rebuild, too weak to challenge the West. Injuries and load management haven't helped. LeBron, Austin Reeves, and Doncic have shared the floor just 11 times this season, making rhythm, chemistry, and defensive trust nearly impossible. That inconsistency defines the Lakers' struggles. Injuries have left the Lakers' defense in shambles, forcing zone schemes that barely work. Top West teams feast on open shots, and sitting fifth, LA faces an uphill playoff climb. Barkley called them the Washington Generals, and it's hard to argue. Like, subscribe, and drop your Lakers take below.